Hello and welcome back to Nat Scraps. I am so thankful that you guys have chosen to join me today. Today what we're working on is this cute little dragon easel card, and we're going to use the Close to My Heart digital files to cut this out on the Cricut. So we'll be doing a little bit of work in the design space, and then we will be putting all of the pieces together until we have our card finished. I hope that I will see you at the end of the video and that you may have stuck around to watch how to create this card. Having said that, we're going to head over to Design Space and start working on it there. Okay guys, let's start creating our dragon easel card. Here I am in Canvas, and the first thing that we're going to need to do is upload the image. So I'm going to go to my upload, and I'm going to have to look at view all because there's quite a few things here. I have some from the Life the Hoots collection as well as some from the Storybook collection, and here is my dragon here. So I'm going to add that to the canvas and then head back. Now I've got my dragon. What I would like to do is make sure that this is going to be the right side for my card. So you could do this any size, it's up to you. If you wanted to make somebody a 10-inch dragon, there's a way and means we could do it, as long as you can fit it on a mat. But I am going to make a card that is going to fit into a 6x6 envelope. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to lock my dimensions because I do want it locked for this particular one. Normally default is that it will be locked. And I'm going to go 6 inches, and that will be, so now my width is 6. I know it's going to be slightly less than 6, it's 5.2 or something because he's slightly less high. Now I could make it so that he's a bit higher, so if I unlocked this I could do it 6x6, but he will look a little bit more out of proportion, so I'm going to undo that. Once I have my dragon ready to go, I am going to then make a copy of this. So I'm going to use the CTRL button with the C and the P and copy and paste. Now I'm just going to pop this one over the side here, and I'm not going to touch that. That's going to go on our card front, and I'm not going to touch that for the remainder. This one here I need to make into the card base, the piece that's going to go up and fold, and that the card front is going to attach to. So to do that, I am going to go down to Combine, which is down here in the right hand corner. I am going to click that and go Unite, and it will make it one solid shape. Once I have done that, I'm going to do a copy and paste again, so I have 2 of those, and then you will see that I have the 2 images right there. Now at the moment they don't look like they're going to do anything, so what I am going to do is flip. I'm going to take this top image and I'm going to flip it upside down, and now you can see the 2 heads will meet. I'm going to make sure both images are all the way over to this left hand side. If I have one that's slightly off, then when I join these together, which will make more sense soon, when I join them together, then they're not going to be perfectly in sync, and when we try to fold them it's not going to work perfectly. So both up hard against the side, and then I'm going to make it so the majority of the dragon's head meets up there at the top. Now it doesn't matter if it's not 100% perfect, but you want it as close to the top as you can get it without too much overlap. And I kind of like that. It's got a little bit there, but it's not too bad. I reckon that'll be fine. Once I've got those 2, maybe a little, yeah. Once I have those 2 there like that, just actually going to make that a little bit more. The reason why I'm fussing with this is I don't want a little bit of the, see here on the corner there was a little bit of that spike there that was going to sit out. Now it could always be trimmed off, but I just didn't want to see that bit. So Once I have that as I would like it, I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to select both images, and then I'm going to go down to the combine again and unite, and that makes that one piece, and we have that there. Now we pretty much have everything we need now to create this dragon. Now if you wanted to do a cute little dragon for, say, a young girl, we could go in and change the colors. So we could do the, say, let's think which pieces we would use. We can do the background a light pink, and so you can then make adjustments as you would like for the different colors that you would like. But I'm pretty happy, I think, with this green dragon that we had, so I'm just going to change him back. Now I do want my base card and the base of the dragon to be the same color, which is it is there by default, but if not, I would go up and select and make sure that they're the same color. We want them the same color so they cut at the same time on the Cricut mat, rather than having to feed two lots of paper through for of the same color to cut. You're then going to go to the Make It. We're just going to check that everything fits on the mat, and you'll be amazed how many times I get over to this section and I find that they don't. We have the green here. Now you can move these and you can make a little bit of paper saving, like by moving them around a bit. Sometimes you'll find that they'll fit a little bit better certain ways. We can juggle it, you can move it, you know, however which way you want, but in the end it's going to cut these pieces out. So I can move that over there, and then that saves a 2-inch strip of paper, but really that is up to you, whether you're wanting to save paper or you don't mind. And here there's some little pieces there in a different color, so these will be just a shade different from the other pieces. So whatever we choose for the top piece here, we will use the back, either a shade darker or a shade lighter, and these are the arms. So if I go back over to where we were on the design space, you'll see here we've got our body, that is one color, our arms are just slightly lighter, and then the very lightest for the bits that will go in behind. So with this one, I will have a little look depending on what colors I choose. We'll find out what colors. I haven't actually chosen the colors for this one yet, and we'll make sure that we have enough room to flip the paper over and cut. Now you do need to remember to flip it over and cut, because otherwise they will sit backwards and won't look right. I'm going to go off and make these pieces, and then we will come back and we will put our card together. Okay, we have cut all of our pieces and now we're ready to assemble this card. We've really done most of the hard work, and you'll see here that you could assemble it and not do anything more fussy with it, but we are going to decorate it up just a little and make it look a little bit more special. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this base piece in half. So you're going to match up the tail and the legs, and then match up the nose and the head there, and you'll see I'll come in with a bone scorer and score that nice and solid there. When we've done that, we're going to open it up, and on the top half we are going to fold it back to the middle. So you can see where I pointed to the middle. We're going to fold and score there, and that gives us a half easel there. I'll show you then where the top of the card piece is going to go. You can see that that will go there, and it will become more and more apparent as we go through what will happen with the bottom of the card there. That's me doing a magic jazz, but we didn't do a magic jazz because the first take I did, I completely dropped an ink pad on my little dinosaur or dragon, sorry, and ruined it. So we had to go again. Here I'm coming in with some blending tools, a little bit of the rosemary ink, and a stamp. Now this stamp was part of the National Scrapbooking Day, the one that I'm about to use, but any sort of texture stamp that has some lines on it would look good here. And I did quickly bring in the sticker sheet from the story book collection, and that showed you that on their sticker they actually have some lines on his tummy, and I thought that looked really good and I liked the detail. I'm going to stamp that, and then I'm going to do some blending around the lighter die cut there, and that's just going to give a bit of depth to the die cut. This next stamp set that I am bringing in is the Background Elements stamp set, and I'm using one of the dotty stamps from there, and I'm just adding some texture around on this dragon. You can see here I'm using it not on the block, I'm just dabbing it with my finger where I've just got the end of it, so I'm not getting it sort of in spots that I didn't want. I've popped it back onto the block to do a little bit around on the darker piece, and now I'm just kind of touching up the edges where it's going to be a little bit darker, and trying to give the dragon a little bit of depth, and just making him stand out a little bit more from being a flat piece of cardstock. You see there how silly I am sometimes. I try to put the top piece on the bottom piece. I think we all do that every now and then. Now I'm going to go around that darker piece and blend the edges, and as soon as you do this, it starts to give depth and make the piece look rounder and fuller, and it's only takes a couple of seconds, but is so good to just go around an image with your blending tool and add that little bit of detail to it. I'm putting in a little bit darker there where the wings would sort of come out from his body, again just where there would be shades, and making him look a little bit more dimensional. These are his little legs and hands, and I'll also give them a little bit of depth by blending around them as well. And then we're going to glue this dragon together. It is fairly quick and simple. You can take any of these die cuts, digital die cuts, and make them into something that's 3D. So this is the first card I have in this series, but I do have another one all ready to go for you, and that is using the Life is a Hoot collection, and that has an owl and some beautiful flowers and things. So not necessarily one piece, we've pieced a few things together. So if you want something to extend on from this one, please keep an eye out, maybe hit the bell button so that you get notified when that video comes out in a week or so. Now I'm pretty happy with this, so I'm going to attach that to the card base. Now with this card base, it is a little bit light in the cardstock, so what I'd probably recommend, if you're going to give this to a little boy who's probably going to be a little bit more rougher than what I am with it, then you might want to layer up 2 layers of this base. You can see here I've added glue, and I've only added it on that bottom half of a bottom quarter of the card, and I'm lining it up. You definitely don't want to put glue on the top section there, because that will ruin the easel bit of you. You can see the little piece that I cut off, that was going to be flapping in the background, and I didn't think that that was necessary, so I cut that little piece off. I'm just checking to make sure everything lines up and that I'm happy with my result. Now, as you can see here, it's got nothing to make this easel stand up, and it's slowly falling down while I'm going off to find a happy birthday stamp, and it gradually slides all the way down. So we're now going to build a little piece that's going to hold this card and make sure that the dragon doesn't fall down. I'm just going to stamp a happy birthday sentiment. Now I've checked that this is going to fit across his tummy, and that it's not going to be too long and hang out the sides. Stamp that, and I'm going to trim that so that it's just a very small amount of cardstock left on the top and the bottom. I'm going to open him up, and I'm sort of using my Versamat there as a guide to get it straight, and I'm going to mark where either side of that sentiment's going to be, and I'm going to add a little bit of this glitter tape. So I start off thinking I'm going to put 2 strips in there, and I thought it would be really wasteful because you're not going to see that much of it. So I'm going to cut that piece of glitter tape in half and place a little piece on the top and the bottom. Now this is the pine glitter, but I thought it looked really good with the greens that I'd chosen for the dragon and worked really well. So I've added that to the card. I've added a little bit of foam tape on the back of the happy birthday, and I'm going to attach that also there and then trim off the excess that's hanging off over the edge. As I trim this other side, I'm making sure I don't trim one of his little spikes off because he's got a little spike there where the happy birthday comes out the side, so I'm taking extra care not to cut one of his little spikes off. Now you can see that when he's tucked in there, he's not going to slide down and the card's not going to close without being closed by someone. Couple of tiny more little details. I'm looking at this and thinking he just needs a tiny little bit of shimmer brush, so I'm going to add a little bit of that on the lighter cardstock around on the top and on his tummy. While I'm doing that, guys, I just want to thank you for joining me on this video. I thank you guys for all the likes, all the subscribes, all the comments that you leave below, and I look forward to bringing you some more cards like this. Let me know if you like them. Let me know if you want to see more, and or you'd like to see me use a particular collection. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Here, one last tiny little detail, and that is I forgot to draw in a little bit of a mouth on the dragon, and I'm going to pop that in there. There'll be still shots coming up, guys, and then I'm off. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you again soon. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.